They're down to the 35 on 1st and 10. The give to the back. Oh, he's got some space. He's got it out of bounds. They'll mark it at the 6-yard line, and this defense has to be reeling. And the Gators line it up with a 1st and goal. Snap in the shotgun. Buying some time. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
Quarterback just has to be more aware of the situation. 1st down, goal-to-go situation. You cannot take a sack. So the QB, if no one's open, you got to make sure you're throwing that ball out of the end zone and helping your offense out.
And he runs it all the way down to the 3 before they get it.
And with the stuff there, Jesse, on 2nd down, this little 3rd to mid-range, you got 2 downs. What are you thinking here?
Maybe getting your quarterback out on the perimeter and giving him a run-pass option. See if you can get the defense in a bind.
And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10. They'll send out the kicker to try to salvage this drive.
All right, interesting decision for you now. How confident are you in your offense? You got a big 4th down. It is early in the game. Do you feel like your guys can go out and generate a touchdown, or do you want to play it safe and kick the field goal?
And 3 more on the board, and this kicker is starting to get a reputation starting off the season. Hasn't missed yet. Nice to have a guy that you can really, really depend on.
The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Gives it on the option. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more. But sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
Grabbed behind the line. It's Burr. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few.
For a wide receiver screen to work, you've got to have better blocking out in front by other receivers, and they're just not physical enough at the point on that last play.
We've come to the end of the quarter, and it's Florida on top. They came out and jumped on them early in the 1st. Let's take a break and look at the 1st quarter stats. Big turning point as we head into the 2nd and get this game rolling again. So they go back to work after the break, and it is 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Tight end finds a soft spot. He's got enough for the 1st down. They'll spot it at the 37.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on 3rd.
Gonna take a shot. And incomplete on the deep ball.
As a quarterback, this is going to be a very tough game. You're going up against one of the top 20 units in the entire country. They know who your primary target is. They're going to be keying on him, just like they did that last time, forcing the incompletion.
And this one will be stopped for no gain.
That's really worrisome if I'm the head coach, watching my run game suffer the way it has early in this game. And that's why you're down by a lot of points right now. The only way you're going to change the scoreboard is if you're able to find a way to start running it. So if you can't do it with your running backs, you got to think about QB runs, jet sweeps. You got to find ways to have balance and be able to get it done on the ground.
There's a reason 3rd down is called the money down. What a great find by the quarterback. Great job finding his receiver. At the end of the game, you look at 3rd down percentages. It tells a huge story, and it goes a long way in deciding who wins a football game.
Got his man downfield. He's finally stopped, but not before he takes it into the red zone. They'll mark it at the 18.
I know this isn't the start the offense wanted. They don't have any points so far in this game, but sometimes it just takes one explosive play to turn things around. And after that beautiful completion deep for the offense, that should give them a little
touchdown, Tigers. Made the grab in the end zone for the score.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing into the end zone because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now in the game.
The Gators sending the offense back to work. Always good to get points on a drive, David, but chip shot field goals can leave you a little empty.
Yeah, I think it's great to get points, but the great teams get touchdowns in the red area. You got to get out there this time and execute a little better on this drive.
You're absolutely right, David.
Great move. Now he's got room. The 30. The 20. He's at the 10. And he ran away from the defense to take it in. Touchdown, Gator.
Man, this guy is such a weapon because he's so dangerous if he gets into the second level. Great vision, and then it shows you the speed.
Just straight wheels, erasing angles. A lot of times when you're chasing guys that are so fast like this, you're like, I got him, I got him. No, I do not. What a big, long touchdown run. Pad those stats, young fella.
Now this offense is back on the field. To the air on first down. Rushes on him. Blasted as he lets it go. Complete to the right. The defense got caught that time, and they finally get him on the ground at the 41.
Man, this offense is so dangerous, Reese. They've got dudes all over the field that can make plays. There's a big gainer in the pass game.
You get a chunk of yards like that, now the defense is really on its heels. Nice move to keep running. And he's almost to that first down marker there, saying he's a little bit short. They might want to bring out the sticks and measure, but it looks as if he'll be just short of the first down. The Tigers come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
Auburn ready to go back to work after getting another first down. Looking downfield on first down. Buys a little extra time. Outside the pocket, lets it go. He throws back across his body, and it's picked off.
And the defender makes a great read, breaks on the football, and makes the big interception in the back end. And here's the thing, that's number 4 this season, so he's finding the football consistently.
Creates a little space. There he goes. And he picks up a huge chunk of yards on that play before he's finally hauled down. This is the kind of performance, guys, that sort of etches your name in the roar of a rivalry.
And playing big in this big moment, on this big stage, it is so nice to have a playmaker like that you can highlight, that you can focus on, that you can trust in.
He was so excited coming into this game, too, because he knows that oftentimes your legacy as a player is defined by how you play in rivalry games like this.
Just gets rid of the football, nobody to throw it to. It'll be second down. They'll go to the ground. Breaks into the open.
You got to be impressed by what you've seen by this offense so far in this game. In the first half, they've got a nice lead, and they've been able to do it with explosive plays, but they've also been able to do it with efficiency and getting first downs and staying on the field. You saw another great example right there running the football. Anything they want to do right now is working.
Just outside the red zone, 1st and 10 from the 21. Tight end now in motion. He wants to change this route. They'll give it to him again.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles. And those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
He caught it. He'll be stopped just short of the end zone, but they'll have it 1st and goal. The new popular phrase for a favorite team not really coming out of the gates quickly is that they're playing with their food. There are a lot of peas being pushed around the plate right now, guys.
Yeah, Reese, they've been stumbling around. They've been making mistakes and shooting themselves in the foot in this game. But, David, I think you also have to give credit to the underdog in this game because they're just playing with more intensity. They look like they want it.
Oh, dude, when you come out the gates in the first quarter, it's adrenaline, it's passion, it's being talked about as the underdog. As this game goes on, can they keep that intensity up? Right now, they're doing a heck of a job.
Slams ahead. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Florida. No midseason concentration laps here in Week 7 as they push out that lead. Effective offense leading the way here and establishing this lead.
And that's how you draw it up, right? You want to come out, be clicking early, get everything going, want to get all the facets rolling. The defense right now on their heels, they have no answers. The offense doing whatever they want.
Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. They weren't able to get that one off. It'll be a delay of game. So frustrating to see an offense lose track of the play clock and pick up a penalty like that. Snaps it in the shotgun. Got a man, it's Bird. Strong, firm tackle. And the Tigers with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. Looking to go up top and time's running out in the half. Grab near the marker, it's Bird. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down. A little too anxious along that offensive line. That'll be a false start. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Offense getting set for first down. From the gun, he'll try to throw. Fires to the wideout. He's open on the right. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break.
Yeah, and he runs a quick out route, and this is a timing route. Quarterback has to trust him, throw him the football. You can tell they've thrown this a time or two. Nice job, nice success.
Looking downfield very late in the half. Pocket breaking down. Just too much heat that time, and they knock him down at the 31. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play call and everyone on the same page here. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Under fire. It is incomplete, and now there are 4 seconds remaining.
Well, the offense is doing their best to try and at least get into field goal range here at the end of the first half. So they take a vertical shot down the field, but give the defense credit. Lots of eyes back there on the quarterback. They're able to break on the ball and make sure that throw falls incomplete.
Gets it out of there for the first time today, and didn't see much of him. That loss a week ago, called on just once. He'll be brought down, and that's the final play of the half. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. The Gators will kick it away first, and we'll start the second half. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. And now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. Down 2 possessions to start this third quarter. They'd love to build some early momentum.
You ain't lying, because you only got so many possessions here in the second half. So now you're down. I got to maximize every single one. Put your best plays together. Start this drive off on a good note.
Yeah, it starts right here. Obviously, you can't get it all back on this drive, but you can create that momentum. You can create something special and some energy, but it's going to start with this offense here executing at a high level.
Using his legs, keeping his eyes downfield. He makes a catch. And a big hit at the end, but it didn't stop him from getting the first down.
I think you're seeing the chemistry between these two guys on that last play, right? Quarterback's on the move. He's got to find his big fella. He does a great job of finding the soft spot in the defense and settling down. He was a stationary target for his quarterback on the move, and that really helped him pick up that first.
So now it's 2nd and long. Lost to throw again. He'll pull it down and run. Picks up the first down and gets down to avoid contact. The Tigers will hustle to the line.
And they're going to need a lot more of this to get back in this football game. They're trailing. They're trying to make plays. I like the decision-making of the young man, though. Don't force the football. We already got to make big plays. The defense knows it, too. Nice job pulling it down, scrambling, getting the first down. Now you got to keep it going.
DB's right up on the receiver. Rides the back on the option to give. He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Caught behind the line. It's Burr. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion.
I love this defense's ability to fight off blocks and rally to the football. They do such a great job pursuing that wide receiver screen to only allow a minimal gain, no first down.
Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big 3rd down in the red zone. Got his man. They make the stop at the 5-yard line, but they've got it 1st and goal.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that 3rd down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone.
And he will be sacked at the 6-yard line.
Just like to see the quarterback have a clock going off in his head, forcing him to get rid of that football. Can't take a sack on 1st down and go to a situation and move your offense backwards.
Looking to buy time. Got out of trouble and throws. Touchdown, Tigers! The offense puts up 6 with that trip to the end zone.
And listen, if I have a playmaker at running back like that with that kind of speed, yeah, I'm going to throw the swing to him too. He drops back, surveys the field. He says, I know my guy can make a play, gets the ball in his hands right now on the swing. He does the rest, gets in for the touchdown.
Into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. They're down just 8. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. They still have the lead, but they need to respond to that last score. Finds his big tight end. And he was loose and out the gate and doesn't go down until he gets to the 48-yard line. Line gets set, 1st down. Handoff from the gun. Runs through the tackle.
Great play by the defense there. And listen, they got to do more of this. Running backs obviously had a lot of success. They got to continue to stop this run game, be physical, and not let this guy beat him.
Wants to throw. It's Wilkins. Bringing the heat. Got rid of it just in time. Nothing to do with the football, and he just throws it away. It'll be 3rd down.
I think he's showing you his experience on that decision right there. There was nothing open, so don't try to force it into coverage. You've got the lead. If it's not there, just throw it away. The head coach loves to see his quarterback make that kind of decision.
Under fire. It's complete on the right side. They bring him down at the 45-yard line, and this defense rises up on 3rd down.
4th down coming up.
So the offense is going to go for it on 4th down. Wide receiver comes in motion. On 4th down, going to the air. Big tight end makes the grab. It's a 1st down. Well, they just drained all the suspense out of the 4th down conversion, moving the chains easily.
Well, you got to give this quarterback a ton of credit because he showed tremendous confidence on that throw. That wasn't just trying to throw to the sticks. That was being aggressive and throwing it down the field. Not a high percentage throw, but he had confidence in his guy to win one-on-one, and they keep the drive alive.
Got enough for the first. And he picks up a 1st down. That is not a flag on the play. It's just lingerie on the deck after that move. The Gators have it with a 1st and 10. They go to the ground. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Great play by the defense there, getting the tackle for loss. But on offense, your mindset has to be, we need to be the more physical team here in the second half. We've got the lead, 3rd quarter. We want to run the ball. We've got to have more success getting our blocks and moving forward if we're going to win this game.
And you're not going to see many of those. That's a gift for this defense. You don't see this guy miss very often, especially to put 6 on the board. That was a big missed opportunity for this quarterback and this offense.
Here comes the heat. He makes a grab. And he will score. Touchdown, Gator.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge. And also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, Dave. And listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Gives it on the option. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1. Time winding down in the quarters. They come to the line. To the air on 2nd down. Fires to the middle. Wide open downfield. And they'll move the chains with the 1st down. But that might be it for the 3rd quarter. One more quarter to play, and it might be unlikely, but hey, it's college football. Comebacks happen. They'll go back to work with a 1st down in the final period. Looking to throw on 1st down. A little floater there that falls incomplete.
And that's where quarterbacks, they got to be very assertive. They got to believe what they see and really pull the trigger. But the longer they wait and they get off rhythm or off timing, a lot of times it ends up in incomplete passes.
This time it's complete. He's close to the 1st down, but they're going to mark him just a little short.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it's still a positive game.
Looking to throw again. Fires to the big fella. Looks as if Auburn will have enough for the 1st down. Now setting up shop in the red zone. They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. Deep shot for the end zone. Touchdown, Auburn. Grabbed in the end zone to put 6 on the board. This is like a baseball pitcher that can't miss. He is just pounding the strike zone.
It just gets in the zone, right? When you can't miss, you've seen quarterbacks get like that no matter what they do. They're on fire. They're hitting the receivers. And listen, that's also on the defense. The defense has to do a better job making him feel uncomfortable, changing what they're doing in coverage so he's a little bit confused. You can't just let him pick you apart.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The Gators sending the offense back to work. And they've got a little bit of a cushion here, David. If they can add to it on this drive, it would be nice.
And it definitely makes a little bit of a difference. Knowing I'm up by...
Turning it on! That's why a good running game is a coach's and quarterback's best friend when you're trying to put the lid on the game.
When the offense can run the football and you can feature a guy like this that will get more yards than his block, that you can really depend on, hangs on to the football, like it makes offense super easy, especially down the stretch when you want to eat that clock and you want to possess the football. Just nice to have that kind of guy.
Looking to pass. It's Wilkins. Throws to the wideout. Complete to the left. A huge play there, and they finally get him out of bounds at the 37.
And I love the awareness by the wide receiver on that play, because I'm not sure that route was supposed to be that deep. You got to wonder if the receiver decided maybe to adjust the route a little bit to make sure that he got the first down.
Wants to go up top on first down. Caught in the backfield, it's Scott. No siree, not this time. The defense was there and ready for that one.
Well, they're trying to set up the screen pass to the running back, just nowhere to go after he caught the football. The defense completely swarmed around him, and that's a loss.
Right on the money. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there.
Nice job by the receiver on the in route there. And how about the speed? After he made his break, he was able to actually separate a little bit from the DB, helping out his QB on that one.
Pressure coming. And they fail to hook up on third down.
QBs and receivers on third down, everything has to happen just a split second sooner. You're expecting pressure. The quarterback gets hit, just not on the same page with his target.
They'll keep the offense on the field on fourth down already with a one-possession lead. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He's taking the shot. Catches it past the sticks and still on his feet. He's brought down the one. A play for this offense, and they'll have it at the 12-yard line. And the Gators will snap it on 1st and 10. They'll run the ball. The clock is on their side. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Man, not much wiggle room for the ball carrier there.
I'm not really sure what they can do to try to create some space.
I know. Block better. How about the offensive lineman push some guy backwards and make some holes?
Back to throw. It's Wilkins. Here's some pressure. They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20.
And I think that time he was trusting his pocket awareness and his arm a little bit too much. You've got to remember, you're one of the best athletes in the country playing the position. If you see a crease, you just got to take off and get it.
2-minute timeout arrives, and this defense desperately needs to get the football back. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. The sweet feet buy a little time. And he can't find anyone open, and down he goes. A sack here late in the 4th. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. It's good. And now the lead is extended a little further. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Guys, a couple of ACC teams colliding in a game that could have some implications. North Carolina is down right now, but that kid on the defensive side, I know this is a big statement, but he looks like a young Lawrence Taylor. Do not rule out a comeback. It's still a one-score game. They're trailing by 8 to Clemson. Never know what's going to happen in the ACC, and we'll circle back. If anything develops, you should know about it.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. One play in this drive, and already out to the 41. It's first down. Looking to throw on first down. Here's a throw downfield late. And they won't make the connection going for the big play.
Now, I understand the sense of urgency for the offense now, because you're trailing here by a lot in the 4th quarter. You're just trying to take a shot and see if you can get on the board and get some of this momentum back. The problem is the defense understands that, so they're playing coverage And they're doing a good job on the back end. Nice job forcing the incompletion.
The noise is deafening, trying to make sure only the Gators get out of the swamp on third down. He's looking downfield to throw. Intercepted, and that is the last thing they needed.
Well, man, we've seen explosive offensive firepower all game long, and here we are late in an obvious passing situation trying to get this thing close. The big INT, finally the defense makes a play, and David, it looks like they just closed the door on this one.
Well, and you know, Mr. Quarterback, defense wins championships. And how do you seal a game? The defense coming up with a big moment. Yes, obvious passing situation. You know they're going to throw it. The big INT, and that might seal their fate.
Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. Now facing a third and long. They'll run play action. Oh, they're after him. This will be picked off, maybe just the turning point they needed. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back. Good field position to start this drive at their own 47. Off play action on first down. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Well, the windows right now to throw into are getting smaller and smaller. How about the defender that time? Breaking on the ball. It was the hit that caused the incompletion.
Second and 10. He'll throw again. Here's a heat. Keeps it and gets the first down. Nice job by this junior quarterback to get it done on the ground. Ball is at the 35. It's first and 10. Wants to throw on first down. Going to try to get it himself. Brought down just outside the red zone. He moves the chains. It's at the 22. Now they've got to hustle to the line and get set. To the air on first down. Going for it all. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. The defense making a play to put an exclamation point on this one, and that ought to do it. Running out the clock, a mere formality between them and a victory as we have victory formation coming. With the game in hand, the offense choosing to just have the quarterback take a knee. It's really the most common type of upset we see every year. The home field advantage is so big, and especially when you have a ranked team come to town, they love to play spoil.
Yes, and what needed to happen happened in this football game. Something good to happen early to get the belief and to get this crowd involved. And when the crowd gets involved, Jesse, it changes the game, and I think it had a lot to do with the outcome today.
I agree.